What small thing brightens your day? I can't see my dad a lot anymore, but he makes sure to send me an updated picture of his garden almost every day. You could make a time lapse of that, with the pictures you've been sent. Glad you can still stay connected. When my cats sleep next to me, they always make sure that they touch me with their toe beans. If I slightly move, they readjust until they touch me again. Love it. My girl cat does this once it starts getting cold out. She uses me as her personal hot water bottle, and I love it. Mine does that. Also during a heat wave like we've had now, she has to touch me just a little to be sure she's close to me. She's a rescue cat who hated people at first, and I spent a lot of time making her trust me. Now she wants to be around me all the time. My cat sleeps on my arm or hand and holds it with her paws, and she snores LOL. Both of mine do this, but my 14-year-old kitty does it the most. I love it. My husband makes it a habit to send at least one cute animal picture to me a day. It's been years and I don't think he's ever doubled up. If I've seen it before from some other source, I get another 2 or 3 to make up for seeing one already. It's often frog related. Today was 3 white tree frogs being cute in a frog bowl. Yesterday was a bearded dragon getting excited over blueberries. Edit, today was cute pile of ratties in a hammock. One had a lovely ratty tail hat. Edit 2, told him we hit 10k upvotes and got cute frog meme in RESP once. Love this. That's dedication, smiley face. I found this cutie in the street last night and moved him to a yard. I believe from a cursory Google search he is a southern leopard frog. Is this the video of the bearded dragon getting excited over blueberries, not Rickroll? My guinea pig Oli. His cuteness and popcorning will always make me happy. Is popcorning the sound guinea pigs make? If so, I had no idea there was a name for it. I read that as guinea pig oil and was very confused for a brief second. Rediscovering the songs I used to listen to and either relieve the memories, or replace them, tongue sticking out. Edit, thank you all for the awards. I'm really glad many of you also find the same joy in this. Cheers. It's so nostalgic to hear old songs and experience old memories, but then you realize that the more you continue to listen to that song and experience those memories, the old ones go away and are replaced with new memories of you listening to it now. Makes you not want to listen to any old songs for fear of tampering with the precious memories. Just nostalgia in general is an amazing feeling. For example, looking at old cartoons / movies / TV shows you used to love, the random smells you encounter in random places that trigger a happy memory even though you can't pinpoint it, tasting some kind of food or candy you loved as a kid, and like you said, old music you used to listen to. I used to be really depressed, to the point where I didn't really like anything new, so I solely relied on nostalgia to feel even the slightest bit good feelings. This included listening to old songs and re-watching shows I loved the time before I became depressed. When you let someone in while driving and they wave at you. Edit, thank you guys for the awards, I've never received this many upvotes before. This is really cool. Illy. One time I cut someone off bad. I'm usually pretty good at being aware of other cars, so I felt like an asshole for cutting this person off. When they went by I waved and expected the finger in reply and he gave me a peace sign. It made me feel better and now I like to do that if someone cuts me off. I love this. In fact, I just love when people are driving nicely in general, not tailgating, not jumping around lanes, not speeding, merging correctly, etc. It feels nice, like they are not just respecting the rules of the road but also being courteous, as if to say, yeah, traffic / commuting / driving isn't just about me, we're all in this together, let's try to do it well. In my neighborhood every day when I come back from the gym at 6:01 a.m. there are a trail of quails, and every morning I stop so they can safely pass the road. If they aren't there I get kind of sad. I like seeing my quails and knowing they got to their destination safely. Edit, I work out in an open park at the moment which is the same distance from my house as the gym, My quail routine has not stopped because of COVID. Life is really kind of shitty right now. My wife and I try to sit on our back deck after work each day and share a beer. There is a pair of Mississippi kites that have nested in the woods near our house, and they sometimes circle over the house, giving little calls. For some reason, I interpret this as a good sign, a little sign of hope. It helps me get through another shitty day. Our birds make us feel better. OMG, there was a flock of partridges, that I had mistaken for quails, at my old apartment. I would lose my shit every time I saw them. Those bouncy fat little bird nuggets never failed to fill me with delight, haha. Reading this made me smile. I'm sure they enjoy seeing you as well. My dog loves laying on my feet. Just mine, not my parents or siblings. My heart sings whenever he does it, cause it's clearly a sign of affection he reserves for me. Edit, thank you all so much for the awards. It means so much. Dog tax, if you'd like to see the little foot hugger. My dog stares at me, and no one else. If he's sitting somewhere other than next to me, he will be staring at me. If he's sitting with someone else, he will be staring at me. Surprised face, same here. He only does this with me. It's like he's trying to tell me, please stay here, and if you're moving, I sure as hell am going to follow you. And he does. I call him a Velcro dog, LOL. Maybe he is protecting the house from the smell of your feet? When you can tell someone is genuinely happy to see you, or genuinely sad to see you go. Those are true friends. What's it like? Especially dogs. Our dog literally smiles and picks up the nearest toy, to bring it to you, while she makes noises like a guinea pig. My grandpa passed away a couple years ago. Moved to Canada when I was a teen and only got to see him 3 times after that. In those 3 times, whenever we were leaving, you could tell he was genuinely sad. He always gave the tightest goodbye hugs. I miss him. When you go to open a jar and don't need help. For me, there's nothing quite like helping get something open. I once walked into a class in high school and everyone had gathered around the center of the room. So I investigated, and this girl's water bottle had somehow gotten cinched up crazy tight, and all the guys were taking turns trying to open it. My plan was to pop it open and make it look easy, which admittedly I didn't, but I did get that thing open, and the fact that I was the only one in the room who could made me feel like King Arthur with Excalibur. That becomes more of a victory the older you get. A joke I've never heard before. A creative compliment I've never heard before. Just something different. Makes the day more interesting. The tiniest difference makes a big difference. I have bright pink hair, and one day at work I was wearing it in a high curly ponytail. A man came up to me and said, "I love your hair. I hope this doesn't come off as weird, but you look like Pinkie Pie, and I love it. My daughter and I watch My Little Pony together, and that's her favorite pony. She'd love your hair too." That compliment has stuck with me because that was the last kind of person I'd expect to get that compliment from. It was very sweet and I think about it pretty often. You have a truly unique username. I've got one of those little picnic table shaped squirrel feeders attached to the fence around our backyard. Every morning I put a fresh cob of squirrel corn on it and watch the little dudes and dudettes come feast on it. I'd do this, but my area has got crows, and crows don't care about manners at the table. Squirrels and crows saved my life during quarantine. I lost my job, bartender in Portland, for 3 months. I don't have a license, and my husband prints food and beverage packaging, so he worked a shit ton of hours every week. His job saved us, but I was home alone for 3 damn months, with the first 2/3 RDS of it being rainy and wet. I started feeding the crows and squirrels and would just go outside and watch them for hours. With my dogs and doing some yard work and gardening in between, of course, but watching them use my bird bath and eat snacks made my day. However, now the crows just use the bird bath to wash their food, either pizza crust or random bones, none of which I give them, and my dogs now know that someday they're going to find yet another pizza crust in the yard. The smile of others. Especially if I caused it. Edit, thank you for the awards, kind strangers. I hope you all receive and cause lots of smiles today and every day. This. 8 years ago, in New York City, I'm with my family sitting at a coffee place in the lounge. My parents are talking amongst themselves, so I'm zoning out and scanning the room. Out of the corner of my eye I spot an Asian man obviously waiting for his wife, and he's rocking in his chair with drink in hand. All of a sudden he tilts too far back and starts to go backward, but he suddenly catches himself and almost drops his drink, but not before stopping the chair from slamming to the ground, so it was silent. He looks around and catches me smiling. He instantly replies with the biggest grin while toasting his drink in a aha manner. I still think about that scene. So wholesome. When I accidentally wake up too early and see the sun starting to come out, I go back to sleep after, but I like to think I fall back asleep with a slight smile on my face. Or waking up, but staying in the edge of sleep, while it's raining outside. Then getting to lie in bed and doze off again while listening to the pitter-patter of the rain. Every day there's this neighborhood kid that bikes around with his what I assume to be his older friend or brother, and they throw homemade newspapers. They write little noted and cards and updates how they like life. He does it just for this block I'm on with my friend. Apparently he's been doing it for about 6 months. Friendly small talk with strangers. It gives me hope for humanity. Yes. I miss that. I haven't had any random conversations with strangers since the world changed. I usually hate forced small talks, but yesterday had a great spontaneous chat with a cashier about some products I was buying and she was curious about, and then she shared a great sounding recipe. It was just nice. This would be nice, but I live in Finland. I have a scar on my right arm. While I was in high school, I pushed myself too far physically and mentally. I studied day and night just so I can get a high rank in class, which was very important to me back then. Once didn't get enough sleep for a week, and on my daily commute I was so tired I fell off the vehicle I was riding. Gave me only a scar on my right arm. I'm not entirely sure how, but since then I always wake up and look at that scar and remind myself that I should be happy, whatever results I get in my life. Since then, my days have been brighter than usual. Strange how life has its ways of reminding us about what's important. Glad you're finding some happiness. I learned this from visiting a buddy. Learn the names of the people who you routinely visit, i.e. gas station employees or grocery store clerks, whatever. Learn a little about them, ask them about their day, call them by name. It just feels good to make people feel appreciated, I guess. I should add, don't pry. I can vouch for this. I work at Starbucks, and I remembered this one customer's name once that came in 2 to 3 times over the span of 2 months. I later learned that she was an immigrant and everyone has such a hard time learning her name, that when I said your name is, right, she was so touched. And I was touched because I didn't realize the effect that learning someone's name had on people's lives. I tried this, but I could never get the real name from my drug dealer. This will backfire heavily in Central Europe. My kid experiencing her firsts and getting so overwhelmed by it. Yesterday she experienced a ladybug crawling on her hand for the first time, and her genuine happiness was infectious. She kept going back to the same spot in the garden looking for it, calling out, "Heya, bug," looking for it under every leaf. Hat. Frisked ladybug. My grandpa suffered from severe Alzheimer's disease. He had many bad days but was generally a happy man. He was fortunate enough that he found so much wonder in the world for a second time around in his old age. He would be surprised and shocked with every sneeze and would laugh at how ridiculous it was afterwards. This comment just reminded me of how great it was to see him happy at all the little things while we were fussing over the big stuff. Thanks for making me smile today. In wise guy accent, heya, bug. Where why at? Haha, cute. My girlfriend's laugh. I second this. Not your girlfriend's, though I imagine it's lovely. At the minute things are tough, for everyone, and hearing her laugh any one of her amazing laughs makes my day. I also choose this guy's girlfriend's laugh. I'm the same but with my boyfriend's laugh. I struggle with depression/suicidal thoughts, so withdraw as to not put my stress too much on him, but something about his laugh at some video he found makes me smile a little even when the thoughts are overwhelming me. My kids, 3 and 1-year-old boys, getting me up every day. The 3-year-old pushes on me or just jumps on me and says, "Mom, wake up, Mommy, wake up, it's a beautiful sunshiny day." While he's doing that, my 1-year-old just says "Mom" over and over while usually hitting or bouncing on me. As soon as they know I'm up, it is hugs, kisses, and the 3-year-old saying "Good morning, did you sleep good?" I frequently fake being asleep just for that. That's so nice. I've got a daughter that's an adult and still gives me a hug and tells me she loves me every morning. It's the best part of my day. I'm secretly glad that college is not letting them back on campus. Seeing 12:34 on the clock. I don't know why I thought of this today, but back in 8th grade my social studies teacher referred to 6 o'clock as Abe Lincoln time, because he was tall. And the hands at 6 o'clock are standing straight up. Something like that. Anyways, me and the guy I sat next to thought this was hilarious, and we would make a joke about it any time the hands on the clock formed a straight line, and would say what Abe was doing depending on the angle of the hands. So for example, the time 9:15 occurred during our class, so we'd always go, "It's Abe Lincoln's bedtime. He's laying down to go to sleep." My BF and I always try to remember to text each other at that time, he. Other significant number patterns too. 11:11 for me. My cat comes to the door when I get home and greets me with headbutts and meows. And the outdoor kitty I feed does the same. People who say cats are heartless have never tried being around a cat. Edit, I have cat tax. I agree. My fiancé has been converted after adopting our 2 babes from the shelter 2 years ago. We went in to look, about a year after my soul kitty passed away, and I picked the first cat I saw. She grabbed my finger with her paw and mushed her face on it. How could I not? And we were about to leave when he asked if we could go back in. So, he picked out his first cat and the rest is history. I miss my cat's headbutts. Sometimes they were so hard and right in the eye socket. She'd also jump out from the trees near my front gate. Even though I knew it was happening, she'd still always scare me. Hummingbirds peeking through my window after they use my feeder. Feels like they're saying top o' the morning to ya. When someone gives me an unexpected compliment, like when a friend says, "Oh, you look glowing today," or "Oh, you smell really nice today." I didn't do anything special to look or smell good that day, so it's a pleasant surprise. There's this dude who's been walking laps at night in the parking lot next to me for a couple of months. It's just cool to see someone doing something, anything, small right now. Whatever has you walking, keep rocking. Black shirt, black pants dude. Have a chat with him next time. Back when I used to go out for late night walks, I wasn't in the best environment and had depressive episodes. Would go even when I felt better, it was cathartic. Think he would appreciate the gesture even if he's alright. Any of my cats or my dog. I've been in real dark places before, and pets have seriously saved me. I had a blind cat, Blinken, and I knew he needed me to stick around. I have a deaf dog who's quite literally all I own right now, and he definitely gives me most of my motivation to get up a lot of days lately. But at least he socializes me by getting so many people to come and pet him. The thought of my dog waiting for me to come home, getting excited for a distant stranger only to have his heart broken when he realizes it isn't me, is the reason I haven't taken my life. His name is Chester, and although not a therapy/support dog, has been more therapeutic to me than anything else. Stupid sod can manage to make me laugh when I'm broken down into tears, or make them stop when I hold him long enough. I'm sorry, but I have to ask. Did you name him after the character in Robin Hood Men in Tights? Also, hugs. Animals are the best. Remembering how brightly a homeless man smiled at me, and hearing him say "God bless you miss," after I gave him 4 tacos on my birthday. One time I gave a homeless man $10 cause I had just gotten out of an amazing concert and still had that left in my wallet. We then got a second concert because he was so happy he sang us a song. It might sound weird, but a fresh pair of socks is also an amazing gift for someone in this situation. If you can afford to keep a new pair of socks in your glove box or a bag, please consider it. I love you. I love you. And it doesn't even have to be in so many words. My parents do this thing where they see to each other's needs without ever having actively decided to do it or even realized they're doing it until it was pointed out to them. Basically, for example, one of them will fill up a glass of water when thirsty, drink their fill and then promptly refill it and hand it to the other, who will take it and drink, no questions asked. Another example is one of them will make a sandwich or grab an apple or something and sit/stand next to the other whilst sharing the thing almost bite for bite. Also, correcting each other's plate. Like, if one loves pickles but hates cheese, a mutual transfer occurs from plate to plate without any acknowledgement that this is even happening. This behavior happens even when they are annoyed or downright pissed at each other, and extends to my brother and I as well. To me, having grown up with this, it was always just something normal that we do. Friends and significant others have since pointed out what a profound expression of "I love you" it apparently is. Thanks for watching. If you could like, subscribe and comment best Reddit stories for more Reddit videos.